What's up, Zombie Talk 123? Alright, so the Yankees have clinched the American League East Division for 2011. Now, going into the season, my prediction was not necessarily that the Red Sox were going to win it, especially after they got that terrible start. But once they started winning a lot of games and had the best record, I assumed that they were going to win the division. I thought they had, a little bit younger team, stuff like that, and all these guys in their prime, that they're going to win the division. Their pitching was always a question mark, though. Relief, not that much of a question mark, and at the time, the Yankees had definitely question marks in their relief. They weren't looking as strong as a team that they look now. Their offense is strong in all cylinders. The Yankees with Mark Teixeira at first, Robinson Cano at second. Derek Jeter, who's really picked it up in the second half at shortstop. After he got that 3,000, it seems like not that long ago. He's at 3,084 hits already. It's like 84 hits and whatever it was. I mean, he's been on fire, and he's going to be very important in the postseason, obviously. Team captain, all that. Third base, Alex Rodriguez, he needs to get fully healthy. He needs to get, he needs to be in his prime when he goes in the postseason. Then in the outfield, you have a lot of depth with guys like Nick Swisher. You have Curtis Granderson, who has been arguably the best hitter in the MLB this year, one of them. And Brett Gardner, a lot of speed there. They just have a great outfield. They have a great infield. Their pitching staff is it's pretty solid pitching staff, but the real thing is here the relief. The relief has really picked it up in the second half, and the real guy here is David Robinson. David Robertson really didn't step it up in the first half, and he really, when Rafael Soriano was hurt and when Jabba Chamberlain was hurt, he stepped it up and was that setup guy, and he's been so good for the Yankees this year, and he's going to be very important in the postseason. Now, the Yankees were obviously expected to get to the postseason, either in the wild card or AL East. I predicted them to get in the wild card in the middle of the season. Now, that's kind of making me look stupid because they've clinched with like 6 games to go. Why? Because Boston has downfalled. With the Rays, really, I kind of feel bad. The Rays have had chances these last 3 games. Boston's lost 3 in a row to the Orioles. Now, obviously, and so the Rays, they've lost 3 in a row too. But if they would have won all 3 games, they could be the leader in the wild card right now. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But, the thing with that is it's easier to say than do. They're playing the New York Yankees here, who are trying to clinch the AL East, get Mariano Rivera saves, and get CC Sabathia's 20th win, and, all this stuff. Not his saves, excuse me. His record came before the series. Sorry, I don't want any comments saying you're wrong in this, so I'll say. Disregard that. But anyway, so they're trying to get these things like winning the division, winning a playoff spot, getting CC Sabathia's 20th win. And they're obviously not going to be, have a mercy on the Rays. They want to win, and they want to make this a tough playoff spot, and they're going to be a spoiler in this. And the Rays are obviously desperately trying to get in the playoffs. It'd be amazing if they do. No one predicted them to get in the playoffs this year. I predicted them to do good this year. I didn't predict them to be this good, though. They're about to beat the Red Sox and go to the playoffs. Now they are tied with the Angels after losing 3 straight games. It's a 3-team race. They're 2.5. And if the Red Sox keep playing the way they do and the Angels start to keep playing the way they're doing, it's going to be very close. Now, a really close race in the NL wild card. I never thought it would be close. I thought in the middle of the season, where Cardinals are way out in the Central. We're like 10 out in the wild card at one point against the Braves. I'm like, the Braves. You think the Cardinals? I've been following the Cardinals all season. I had no idea the Cardinals could be out. The Braves. We're 1.5 out. We're coming back. We're rallying. The Braves look dead. They look flat. They're not winning. I don't know what is with the Braves. They have such a good team. They have such an exciting team. They have so many young pitchers that are going to make a huge difference next year. And maybe it isn't their year this year. But next year, they're in line to have this Braves era of just going to the playoffs all the time. And, unless we get that second wild card, it looks like if the Phillies keep winning, the Braves are going to be having that wild card spot for a long time because they have such a good team. But the Cardinals have found a way to get themselves back in, and the Giants, too. They're not too far behind either. But really, I'm just so amazed by this because the Cardinals were, 7 games out at least in this month. And, they swept the Braves and been playing great. They've won 12 out of the last 14. They're 1.5 out now. If they win tomorrow, the Braves aren't playing, they'll be 1 game out. Anything can happen. This is pretty amazing. So anyway, the Yankees have clinched the American League East Division. Tonight, they clinch it. Again, check on the facts for record. I don't know if this has ever happened. There's a doubleheader, and they clinch a playoff spot and the division in the same day. That's kind of cool. Well, I guess if you clinch the division, you'll clinch a playoff spot too, but like separately, but in the same day. I think it's pretty cool. But anyway, so the Yankees. This is how they won tonight, though. I'm gonna get into the details. Managing won this game tonight. Other than playing, of course. That's not a big deal or anything. No, but I mean, really, the managing did make a big difference, putting guys in the situations to get things done. I felt bad for CC Sabathia. I would have been pissed if I was him, but it's something you're gonna have to live with. He's trying to get his 20th win, and there's bases loaded, 1 out, and he loaded the base on a walk. So they're 2 close pitches, though, debatable. And he wants to stay in, obviously, and try to get Ben Zobrist, who struck out 3 times a game. But his pitch count is already up to 128. Joe Girardi goes out there. He's trying to convince him to let him stay. Joe Girardi's like, I'm sorry, got to take you out. So now the 20th win is not in line. It wasn't in line that any. But it turns out that the Yankees scored twice in the bottom of the 8th, and he would have got the win if he would have stayed in and got the outs without them scoring more than 1 run. So it sucks for him. He was mad, but he ended up being, he was very supportive of everything, so he was fine. But, he's still very frustrated, obviously. This might be his last start of the season, probably is. And he can't get his 20th win, which, that sucks. But David Robinson, first pitch, he goes in the game, and he gets a double play. So, I mean, you can't really argue with that decision. Guys are 1 for 19 against him with the bases loaded. So, obviously a good decision for him to go in the game and get that pitch and get a double play there. Another manager decision. They pinch hit and bring in Nick Swisher. He gets a double to lead off the 8th. Or there might have been 1 out, actually. I'm not sure. I think there was an out. And then another manager decision. You have A-Rod on the bench. You have Jeter on the bench. You bring in Jorge Posada, who against this guy last time hit a grand slam. He's clutch and all that. He hits a single, scores 2 runs. That's a game-winning hit. And then Rafael Soriano comes in, closes out the game. Everything's good, and they clinch the AL East. That is the New York Yankees. This year, other things that have been really cool happening. Mariano Rivera obviously setting the record for saves, best closer in history. And Derek Jeter getting his 3,000th hit, so on a home run. So, New York Yankees have had a really good year this year. They win the AL East, and they obviously want to win the World Series this year. Do I predict them to win the World Series? I'm going to have to wait for predictions for the playoffs until we get everything settled out, matchups and stuff. But I feel like I'm not feeling it like with them, but they're a really good team. They could win the World Series. I mean, they really could. Do I want them to win the World Series? No. I don't want the Yankees to win the World Series every year. That'd be so boring. I'm a Cardinals fan, so obviously it'd be really awesome to really enjoy a World Series win for the Cardinals and barely getting in the playoffs. I mean, this happened with the Giants last year. I mean, total different year and everything, yeah. But, the Giants closing in and barely winning their division and barely getting into the playoffs. And, I don't know. It was a great year for them last year and towards the end of the year, and I hope the Cardinals can do that too. But here's the main thing here is the New York Yankees have clinched the AL East. Thanks for watching this Zombie Talk 1, 2, 3.